brain just turns off, just temporarily turns off and goes into bloop mode. And you lose the ability to think, hear, and communicate clearly.
Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon. Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brianne Davis-Gantt. Today we're pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets. We'll hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave? Or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing? Join me each week as we take a deep dive into one subject matter, exploring the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. Get ready for a more focused, more revealing journey of the human experience. This is Secret Life, and I'm excited for you to join the ride. Today, we are talking about, dun dun dun, emotional flooding. Woohoo! When you are getting flooded with emotions and you get stuck in it. What the fuck is emotional flooding? Are we all emotionally flooded? I don't know, but here is the definition: where your body's response to feeling overly aroused by physical and emotional sensations. When a person experiences too many emotions, and their body may go into a shutdown mode to reduce this overwhelmed. Such a psychological flooding can look like feelings of withdrawal, flight or fight, reactions. That is what emotional flooding is. And it happens a lot with people, especially avoidance. They get flooded and they cannot literally make a decision and move, and they are at a loss. When does this happen? When do we get flooded? I don't know. Let me think. When there's a major life change, that can happen. When issues from your past get triggered, when your teenage self or your child self gets triggered, when there's an ongoing stressful situation, when life stressors show up at the same time. So if you're doing a whole bunch of life happens at one time, you get flooded. When there's an argument with a loved one, when past trauma resurfaces, when you receive really, really unexpected bad news, that's when it happens. And it can be so overwhelming that your brain just turns off. Just temporarily turns off and goes into bloop mode. And you lose the ability to think, hear, and communicate clearly. And it feels like you've gone into this stress response. Most people go into the freeze response, but other ones go into the flight, like I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to travel. I'm going to leave. Fight, they get really angry, really pissed, really freeze, don't do anything, shut down, go hide under the covers. And fawn, they just go into I need attention, I need validation, I'm going to give it to somebody else, I need something. But the main one is you get flooded and you just go into shutdown first. Our nervous system, what is actually happening is our fucking nervous system in our body is an overdrive. Too much. And we might have this response where it's our heart rate goes and our chest tightens and sweaty palms, shallow breathing. People almost think they're having like a panic attack. What do? I'll tell you, so don't freak out. I'm going to tell you how to prevent, how to manage it, and how to avoid it at all costs, to keep going into it. But relationships is a one thing that you get flooded a lot. So we'll do the relationships. But I'm having a lot of people right now this summer, especially what's going on in the world, getting flooded a lot. You know, if you have a parent that's an addict, you get flooded a lot. Like you're on the roller coaster. If a family member is an addict, you're on the roller coaster. So if they relapse, lose their sobriety, you get flooded
and you go into this shutdown. I don't know what to do. And all you're thinking about is them, and you emotionally can't move. You're flooded. So there are all these things that can happen that emotionally takes over you. So let's look at it. How do you get through it? How do you manage it? You're vulnerable. You turn to anxiety. Depression starts happening. You can get sick. It's really bad for your mental health. So you get sick a lot and you start going into fear thinking, fear thoughts. It causes all that stress. If you're going through a breakup or trying to change the dynamics of your relationship, that's when you can get emotionally flooded. So I have a couple of clients right now going through emotional flooding with their relationships. They have toxic relationships, or they're coping with someone having infidelity, or they try to always suppress their emotions because they're a people pleaser, or they're avoidant and they don't even know what fucking emotions they have. Or whenever they fight, they ugly fight. They scream at each other. They send those text messages. Hey, I've done it too, where I'm like, I'm so fucking mad at you, Mark. I mean, I did it the other day with Mark, and I was so ashamed of myself. I was like triggered, and I got flooded by something him and I were talking about. And I sent him these texts, and I was like, I'm fucking angry. And I was like so upset with myself because I got flooded, and I went into the fight. I'm so upset. And then I sent like a mean text, and I was like, I don't want to talk to you. And I don't even like when I get to that, because that's how my parents fought. They were so mean. So I was emotionally flooded, and I acted out, and I went into fight stance. And then I went into stonewalling. I just went cold. So it's ugly fighting and then stonewalling, which I can talk about later. But it's a defense fucking mechanism to protect ourselves. So we say something rude and then we fight. So how do you deal with it? Let's just do that for the emotional flooding in relationships. You identify your emotions. So what I did is I just got triggered. So we'll use my example. I got triggered by what he said. I thought I'll just use Mark. Hi, Mark. I'll just use Mark. He said something and I thought, once again, he wasn't choosing my side. Mark's the sweetest guy in the world. So he'll play devil's advocate with me a lot. And I'm like, you always pick other people's sides. And really, he's just trying to have me expand my thinking. And it's not always about me, right? He's the calmer one of us both, right? He makes me a better person. So I identify the emotion. Hey, this made me feel like you didn't have my side and I feeling judged or rejected or name something, right? So then I go think, do some writing, meditate about it, sit with it, feel that, right? Taking a break, excuse myself, taking time to myself. Ooh, pause 10 minutes, give me some time, an evening if you need, analyze my emotion, feel the anger, punch the pillow, scream into the pillow, sing out loud, anything I have to do. And then I go share with my partner. Hey, when you said this is what happened. I should not have sent that text. I am very ashamed. I'm so sorry. That's not the person I want to be. That is the old me 20 years ago. I am not that person. That I just got triggered and emotionally flooded. And that was my defense mechanism. And I did not mean to hurt you. And I'm really sorry. Then I exercise my mental health, even my physical health. I go for a walk. I just get out in nature after that. And I focus on my breathing and take deep breaths and get back in my body and connect with myself. That is a way to get you through that emotional flooding in a relationship. Okay. That always helps me. That's my practice whenever I act out in my relationships. Okay, how about emotional flooding with life? Let's do that with life. What do you do? So if you feel flooded, here's how you get through it. What you don't do. These are the things you don't do. Do not isolate yourself. Number one, do not go into isolation. That is the worst because we need connection. So no matter if you're so pissed and you need to calm down, don't go into full isolation for the entire day. That is horrific for an avoidant especially. That doesn't mean go and put your shit on someone else, but you can go talk to somebody else and like, can you give me 5 minutes to vent? I have a friend that we're like, I need 5 minutes. I don't need your feedback. I just need to vent. And she's like, go girl, because she's a very sober, wise person. So I turned to her.
Avoid suppressing your emotions. Do not push down your emotions. Get them out physically, get them out verbally, not to the person or anybody else, but like get them out. Take a break from that trigger, that environment, that person, situation, change of scenery, walk away and avoid self-criticism. Like a part of me with the Mark situation, I wanted to be like, oh, you did it again. You lashed out. You went back to that old behavior. You attacked him because you were upset. And I'm like, nope, no judgment. That is an old response. That was a coping. That was a survival tactic. That's not who you are. That's just a survival tactic you don't actually need anymore. Do not judge yourself. So do not go into judgment. And then you're pausing. So in that pause, you calm down. In the middle of the argument, you say, pause, take a pause, and you calm yourself down. You self-soothe. Take a walk, take a shower. Play with your pet. That's a big one for me. I go play with Stella. I rub Stella. I hug her. Breath, 60 seconds. You take a deep, long breath. Try to fill it. Then empty your lungs for 60 seconds. In, long breath. Empty your lungs for 60 seconds. That is a great way to calm. Check your thoughts. See what thoughts are unhelpful. What thoughts are hijacking you, and redirect those thoughts. If I'm a fuck up, you go, no, just using my survival, like I just said, and reflect. After you feel calm, look at that trigger. He didn't mean that. He didn't say that like that. Or that person triggered me to feel insecure, or they showed up and used me and now not paying me. I'm now emotionally flooded that person just used me. And that's reminding me of the time in the past where I was used. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to give you all these different scenarios. So how to prevent it? That is how. Practice self-emotional self-care. Tune into your emotions. Increase your body awareness. Perform an emotional audit of yourself. Go through your body. Where am I tense? Beef up your coping skills, people. We all have to improve our coping skills. We were not given these as children. People always think I should know better. It's like, no, you fucking didn't. If you're listening to my podcast, you didn't know better. Your parents didn't teach you. I'm sorry. You would not turn into and listen to my fucking voice if you knew better, because I don't even want to listen to my voice. So you didn't know. It's okay. Set some more boundaries for others and yourself. Increase your positive talk. Not saying toxic positivity, but when I messed up with Mark this week, I said, you're still doing good, Brie. You're still doing the best. You're showing up. You're being better. You're taking accountability. You're better than you were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago. It's not toxic positivity. It's growing. There's growing pains. There's learning again. There's going, reset. Learn to complete your stress cycle. Learn to flow through it and address if there's any larger causes. Because that's another thing. It's like, okay, underneath this argument or this situation, what is the main cause of me getting flooded? Am I overworked? Am I taking on too much? Am I not having quality time with my husband? I'm using me as an example, obviously. Why am I emotionally flooded? Am I feeling not appreciated? Do I need more quality time for myself? Do I need alone time? Where am I emotionally drained? And that's where I have to go, what is the larger cause? Not this situation that flooded me. Something's underneath it. And that's where I have to make a commitment to take a larger mental picture of my whole life. My whole life. Because I got to tell you, that morning when I woke up at 4 a.m., 4:45 a.m., I thought, fucking it's Groundhog's Day. The movie Groundhog's Day. And the alarm clicked and I go, oh my God, I'm like Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day again, beeping, beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, that ain't healthy. I got to reevaluate the larger picture. Where do I got to pivot? Where do I got to give me more me time and more time for me and my husband? And that's it. Looking at the whole picture, visualizing what is going on that I got so flooded by this one situation. And that's where the growth starts. That's where your emotional intelligence
develops. And that's where you can go, I'm not going to keep allowing any flooding to happen and the triggers to happen. And that's where I become a better person and my life becomes more whole and more complete, and I'm not run on these triggering situations. I hope this episode helped you. It helped me. It helped me going through that situation last week. And we all are not run on emotionally flooding, because that shit is no joke. Old stuff triggers us. Don't ride the ride of the floating machine. Thank you for listening to Secret Life Podcast. I'd love to know your thoughts on this topic or any thoughts you have on subjects you want me to talk about. Send me a note to secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time.
Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you'd like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.